OurGoods is a resource sharing network for artists. We also serve designers, technologists, makers, farmers, and activists, but I'm an artist, so we co-founded it as a group of artists who are interested in seeing online platforms serve the more traditional artistic community. Initially, we made the site so that one artist could contact another to help each other with projects without money, recognizing that artists have a lot of skills and also education, but don't necessarily have money to pay each other to get their work done. Just a minute ago, I heard someone, she came up to me and said, "Wow, I just got a pile of lumber from someone who has a mill upstate, and in exchange she gave them business advice, consulting. So she did strategic planning in exchange for wood." The kind of sharing that we facilitate online will not be deep and meaningful and community building unless there's an in-person component. There's often a talk about sharing, but if it really means sharing resources and redistributing wealth, we think that those cross-class trust networks can only be built in real time, as you see in school. So it takes something like repeat commitment and the shadow of the future, where you know you'll see each other again, to actually enable a kind of trust building that leads toward social justice. For us, it's important that the sharing economy recognize the long history of labor organizing, the solidarity economy movement internationally, and to see sharing as not just shared tools, but actually shared wealth, shared decision making. So the vision that I would have is each neighborhood having a tool lending library, an open source computer station, and a way for neighbors who are not itinerant, who actually are in truly affordable housing that the city supports through low-income housing, but also through community land trusts, to enable people who are moving around all the time to connect with people that have been sharing for generations in one neighborhood. We know that by 2020, this country will be majority minority. We also know that there will be something like Hurricane Sandy every year. And at the same time, we know that the wealth gap is so huge. We know that there's $3 trillion of student debt, more than credit card debt. And we know that that will be the next bailout. So we had predatory loans and the foreclosure crisis. What will we do when we foreclose on all people under 40? On people who have $200,000 of student loans and have changed their lives in order to pay that back? When we have majority minority people that have not been hired due to structural racism, who have not been able to get mortgages? When we have Hurricane Sandy on top of that, where the few people who have protected themselves in condominiums try to open their door and government is no longer maintaining streets, students have completely quit believing in a system that doesn't support them, that doesn't allow them to get an education without being a debtor. This is a very frightening circumstance that really will happen in the next 5 to 10 years. So how do we deal with this pool of creative debtors, with the need to have government actually represent the people, with an environmental collapse in front of us? I think that big business needs to understand that it does have a civic responsibility to the people, and also that it will be a more exciting world to be in if you can walk outside of your house and know that other people are supported and sustained and not homeless in the middle of a flood zone with no education.